guys, I'm here, also known as 8vinyllow, bringing you all another video. Today's video is going to be kind of another vinyl haul, vinyl updates video. Quick backstory about this haul. One of my old neighbors probably moved away like 10-15 years ago by now. He had a younger daughter that was about my age. We got along really well. He had posted on social media about a week or two ago saying that he was starting to weed out and get rid of part of his record collection, and of course that sparked my interest, so I messaged him, we reconnected a little bit, and then he sent along the list of records that he was getting rid of. He also sent along pictures with condition and stuff like that, so that was very cool. I ended up working out a deal with him, and because I knew him, because we knew each other, he was very nice, and I got 4 records that have been on my want list for a while for a whopping $20 shipped. So you can't beat that, especially when you see the records and see their condition. $20 shipped was a great deal. So I am super excited about these. Like I said, these are records that have been in my want list for a while. So I'm very excited to play these, very excited to add these to the collection, and I'm excited to share them with you all today. So we're gonna get right into it. Like I said, picked up 4 records, all for $20, and let's get going. All right, number 1 here is a Chicago-based band. This is a band called The Flock, and they're a jazz rock band, like I said, from the Chicagoland area. This is their self-titled debut from 1969. And if you aren't too familiar with this band, if you haven't even heard of them, if you're not familiar with this album, and they only put out a couple of albums to begin with, but if you aren't familiar with this album or this band, like I said, they're a jazz rock band, and they're kind of in that same sounding realm as Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Chicago Band, Chicago Transit Authority. That's the type of sound that you're gonna get from this band. What's really cool, because there's always a connection with everything. On the back here, on the liner notes, on the back cover down here, it was written by John Mayall, and I've talked about him a million times on this channel, so I won't get into it, but yes, John Mayall wrote the liner notes down here, and he was in the audience at a show at the Whiskey Go-Go in LA, and he wrote those notes. So that was a wonderful connection that I actually didn't know about until I received this album in the mail. I knew who The Flock was. I love Chicago-based bands, especially from the 60s and the 70s. But I thought that was really cool when I saw John Mayall there at the bottom. So that was awesome. This album has brass, it has electric guitar, and it has, if you see there on the back, electric violin. And that's what makes this album super unique and, in my opinion, very, very good. Like I said, incorporates elements of jazz rock, jazz fusion, progressive. It's a little bit progressive, so a little bit of everything in there. Jazz fusion arrangements, diverse tracks, and the overall unique style of this album makes this a must listen. So if you ever see this out in the wild, pick it up. It's good. The second album I got is John Mayall's The Turning Point. This is a live album from 1969. And this is best explained as Mayall's kind of transition, post-blues breakers, exploration album. This album blends elements of blues and jazz, which was a little bit experimental for Mayall at this time. And overall though, the risk that he took ended up working out extremely well for him, in my opinion. I think this is a fantastic live album of his. It was recorded live at the Fillmore East in New York City, and the overall sound of this album is extremely organic, and that's a great thing to have, especially in terms of a live album. It's definitely a transition album for Mayall. It's a little different, but it is a great live album that is worth checking out, so if you ever come across this, I recommend grabbing it. Number 3, hi Bill. This is Genesis Nursery Cryme. This is an addition to my almost complete Genesis collection at this point. I'm almost there. I think probably now I'm missing maybe 3 or 4. I think around 3 or 4. This is from 1971, I believe, and was their 3rd studio album. To be honest, I have not listened to this album in full yet, so I can't really speak on it, but I am very excited to add this to the collection. and finally give this a proper listen. If you want to know more about this album, if you aren't familiar with it, go check out Bill's channel over at the Vinylverse. I'll link him down below. He's the Genesis guy in the VC. But like I said, almost done with completing my Genesis collection. This was one that I've been eyeing for quite some time to kind of finish that. So very excited. Nursery Cryme. I believe maybe this was the first album that featured Phil Collins and Steve Hackett. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember reading that. So very excited. Number 3. Number 4, the last album that I got is from the sensational Alex Harvey Band. This is their album called Next. It is their second studio album that was released in 1973. They are from Glasgow, I believe, and they're kind of a glam rock slash jazz slash experimental type band, kind of all in one. There's a connection with this one too, not John Mayall, it's a Cheap Trick connection. This is actually one of Rick Nielsen's favorite albums. He loves this album. So of course, this has been on my want list for a while and I've been wanting to check it out. I'm very excited about this. But funny story about this, I remember hearing a story that Rick Nielsen shared about Alex Harvey, and that was something along the lines of Alex Harvey played a show with Cheap Trick back in the 80s and ended up eating a cassette. So you don't forget a story like that after you listen to it. So, I mean, sure, sounds great. Rick Nielsen, I say this all the time, he needs to write a book because that man has seen a lot. So, anyway, very excited to listen to this and have this in my collection. It is on the Vertical label and great addition. All right, that's it. Those are my 4. Like I said, 20 bucks, shipped. You can't beat it. I was able to cross off a lot in my want list, so that is awesome. That's all for this video, guys. I hope that you're having a great day, night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. And I will see you all for my next video. Bye, guys.